Hello and welcome back to my channel. I just tried to start this recording without the memory card in the camera, and if you guys are unfamiliar, it won't let you record without the memory card in the camera, so we are off to a fantabulous start. So what this video is, I'm not entirely sure, but it's going to be the start of hopefully a once a week series that's going to go up on Sundays of me working on my blanket from Annie's Crochet Club. Here I've got their cozy cottage sampler Afghan. I'm starting row 10 today. The rest of this was like made off camera over like the past year basically at this point. So I'm doing this series basically so I could kind of kill two birds with one stone. I could work on the blankets that I've been needing to work on just for like personal projects, and I'm getting content up at the same time. So if you guys really want to buy, you know, an Annie's kit and make it with me, you can. Like, that's fun. And I guess I'll put a link, but I'm not necessarily recommending like you guys go out and do that. They're quite expensive, especially given like the size of the blanket it makes. It's like going to be a throw blanket, and each kit was like $20 or $24 or something like that. And I don't know how many there even are in a pack. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there, I do believe, and I could be wrong, are 11 packs, like monthly things, whatever, for this blanket specifically at the very least. And this is like what the final product looks like. So at like $20 a thing, at least 10 things, this is like a $200 blanket. I am pretty confident that you can make most blankets for less than that, unless you're making a honkin' big blanket or a blanket with like some real premium quality yarn. And this is just acrylic yarn. I mean, it's their fancy acrylic yarn, but it's acrylic yarn. So this is not that. But I got it because I had never made a blanket before, and that shows because she a little wonky. Look at it. I don't think that's from like not blocking it. I think that's from I never made a blanket before. And I will say, and this isn't a dig at them, because like it's user error, I'm sure, is part of it, but the instructions for like how you do it are not super clear, at least in like some of the things. Like it's just, they give you like written instructions, and it's not as simple as like, you know, do a double crochet, do a half double crochet, into the next stitch do a blah blah blah. They kind of like make up some stitches basically. Like this says double crochet in next half double crochet, chain 2, skip next 2 half double crochets, double crochet in each of the 2 half double crochets, do that across into the last 2 stitches, chain 1, skip next half double crochet, and last stitch turn. So like I guess that one wasn't particularly confusing, but if you're more of a visual learner, having all of your instructions laid out like in writing like that is like, it is hard for me to comprehend. But they do have video tutorials that you can like access that'll like show you how to do it and everything. So that's been helpful, because this like last stitch I did, like that one was challenging. They're like bars that like create an X. You see that? So I had never done anything like that. And like this is kind of like a basket weave type situation. This like little shell, I don't even know if it was called a shell stitch, but it was a lot. It's been a lot. And I'm very slow at like working on it, because I will work on it like for a little while and then I'll like put it down and not get back to working on it for like months. So it's already like, I've already got all the bags from it, and I'm like not even halfway done, if that tells you anything. Because yeah, so I guess in this first one I'm going to start by weaving in ends. So feel free to grab a project and weave in some ends with me. I'm going to need to get a thinner thing. What is it called? A thinner sewing needle. Let me just get my little tin. Come here, tin. This is my little wee woobly bits tin from the Woobles. Also not sponsored. Also crochet kits. I like a good kit. I like a good subscription box too. Like really. And I've got nails, so I am just completely useless at picking this shit up. Okay, we're gonna dump it. Haha, I win. Now I just gotta get the stitch markers off it. But yeah, I'm gonna start by like weaving in stuff, ends on this from like my last go around before I start a new little pamphlet thing, brochure. I guess it's not a brochure because it's not a brochure, but the little instruction thing. I'm starting like a new kit in this, so I'm just gonna like finish this part up first and then we'll move on because I like to be organized. But yeah, like I was saying, I basically have no concept for like what this is gonna look like. I don't know if I'm gonna be like chatting while I crochet the whole time. I don't know what I'm gonna chat about if I'm doing this every week, because that would go something like, this week I walked my kid to the bus stop every day. Then I came home and cleaned my house. I also kept my toddlers alive. And then I did that every day until the weekend. So that could get potentially boring, I feel like, because my routine is basically the same every day now. I mean, it was always the same before, but now it's different than it was, but also still the same. I'm just helping Janessa exit the house in the morning and then doing the same things I did pretty much before, but without her here. So it's somewhat taking longer to do my normal stuff. But at the same time, and I guess you guys won't see it yet because this will probably go up before my day in the life / crochet with me. But in her first week of school, I sat down and filmed a day in the life basically, and it was pretty chaotic. And I basically said, I'm pretty sure I said it in there, but if not, I'll say it here. I'm worried about not being able to get enough stuff done that I need to get done because I don't have Janessa here anymore. And if you guys did not know, Janessa started homeschooling, and not just like online school like during COVID, because like we all did that. Janessa started homeschooling in August 2022. I had Judah in August 2022. So I've basically never been just me and the boys home all day because she's always been here, which is good because, you know, if I've got 10 minutes left of a video that I'm editing, I can be like, hey, I hear him getting up from his nap. Can you grab him real quick while I finish this up, kind of vibe. So, you know, that's given me like the ability to finish things I would have otherwise like had to stop because she's like here. And then of course, you know, she's got house chores and stuff. So her main chore, because I do like keeping it light, to be fair, she is only 12. Her main chore is just picking up the living room, which basically means picking up after the boys from like playing all day. On occasion, we'll throw on like, you know, unload the dishwasher today, or she's also responsible for cleaning her bedroom and her bathroom because she's like the only one who uses her bathroom, so that's basically cleaning up after herself. Of course, we're gonna do that. But yeah, it's just, she was always kind of like a helping hand, and I know some people were gonna like, you know, greatly disagree with that, but mind your own business. This is what worked for us. This is what we did. I come from a very large family. I myself have 4 brothers and sisters. Yeah, 4 brothers and sisters, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. And my dad is one of 5. So all my aunts and uncles have, you know, at least 2 to 3 kids each, if not more. So I've got a ton of cousins, and we just are a large family. And one of the things that kind of comes along with a large family is kids get experience early on with like learning how to do chores and learning how to like babysit kids and things. I was babysitting like my newborn brother basically at like 11 years old. Now, would I leave Janessa like home alone with my newborn baby? No. Janessa's 12 now, and I wouldn't leave her home alone with the baby. In fact, the closest she ever comes to home alone with the kids is Sunday mornings when Zach and I do our little run, but she's just like awake while they're asleep and is to call us like if they wake up basically. And we do a 5K, but we do a 5K kind of in a loop like around our house, so we're never more than like 2 miles away from the house at like any given time, and that's like the far point is 2 miles away from the house. So, you know, it's a pretty quick get back that way because most of the time we're closer than that. That's just one of the far points. One of the roads we run well, I guess both of them. One of the roads we run is like I guess it's 2 streets over, and then the other like main road we run is like perpendicular to the house, and that's why the far point is like, you know, far. But yeah, she's totally fine. She's basically just, you know, helped me get them up, done a diaper change, you know, and that's that. And we're doing fine without her here, though I was worried about not getting enough stuff done. But then I remembered, even though last year for school I had her here all day to like be a second set of hands, I was also working like a whole other job then too, because I was doing writing jobs, which are more time consuming typically than crochet work, and can be more time consuming also than editing, but it depends on the video, because some of my videos take like hours solidly, like more than 3 to edit. So yeah, I had a second job and I was able to get it done with a second set of hands. Now I only have like this one job. I mean, there's different parts of this job because some of it's crochet, some of it's editing, some of it's filming. So I think I'm actually better off than I thought, but I was definitely concerned by the prospect a little bit, mostly because I like a routine, and I am one of those people that don't like changes to my routine. So yeah, that was concerning for me, but we're actually doing fine. I'm home alone with kids right now, and I bet you couldn't even tell. In that day in a life video, though, you can definitely tell. You can definitely tell. But I don't know, Judah was having a day that day. I said in that video that like he doesn't normally act like that, and I know like everybody will say that about their kid. Oh, my kid's such an angel. I don't know what's got into him today. He's not normally this bad. But that is really true for 2 out of the 3, and I won't tell you which 2. He's normally an easy peasy little guy, but he was in a mood that day. In fact, he ended up putting himself down for a nap like an hour and a half after getting up, and he normally gets up about 8 and doesn't nap until like after lunch, so like after noon, like 12 noon, not like afternoon. But yeah, his little timeout nap seemed to put him in better spirits, and I'm just not sure really what that was, if he had like a rough night's sleep or something, but he was a little bit of a spicy fella, and it was a stressful day. When he went down for a nap, which is even when Janessa was here, when I would like really sit down to like get on some work, I like literally had to sit here and just kind of like stare at a wall for an hour and a half to really like catch up with my brain, because when my brain gets overwhelmed, it does not work well. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. Obviously, like fight or flight is like a stress response thing. So, you know, in a stressful situation, most people either like run or fight. I've got secret option number 3, which is paralyzation, basically. I like do not function. So yeah, when I get overwhelmed, I have to like literally like shut myself down. Well, I don't have to, and my like body just does it pretty much. It does not cope with stress well. But we're doing good. We're doing good. We're on week 2 now, and it's way more settled down. And I'm actually quite a bit ahead of where I needed to be, because I did not have filming for this on the docket till Thursday, and it's only Tuesday. And I've gotten 2 videos. I did start early on Sunday instead of starting on Monday. But I started at Sunday, like, evening. Like, after 6 p.m. evening. So it's not like I worked all day Sunday, and that's why I'm ahead. But I've gotten 2 videos completely edited, thumbnails made, listed to, like, scheduled out, basically, on YouTube. And I've made all those octos right there. I was supposed to be making 6 a day, with me supposed to be finished with the ones I wanted to make by Thursday. It is, like I said, only Tuesday, and I only have 5 more that I wanted to make, so it was 24 in total. 6 Monday, 6 Tuesday, 6 Wednesday, 6 Thursday, adding up to that 24. But it is only Tuesday, and I have only 5 left to go. So we're getting there. All my laundry is done. Dishes are not done right now, but Janessa got into a little bit of trouble So she will be doing dishes, but yesterday, by the time everybody got home, all the dishes were done, all the laundry was folded and washed. The laundry's done today, and you'd think, how is their laundry already? But Judah peed through last night, so I had to wash his bedding this morning and make sure it was like dried back on his bed by nap time, which is obviously pretty easy because that's like 4 hours, and it does not take 4 hours to wash like a crib sheet and like a baby-sized blanket, like it's a throw blanket, as long as you actually remember. And sometimes, I won't lie to you, I forget about the laundry, and so I'll forget to switch it over. I usually remember like same day, but I'm not one of those people that typically when the washer stops, I'm like right there to switch it over. I'm like, I started in the morning and switch it after lunch kind of vibe. Today I could not do that, but I did remember, and he's in there with his usual bedding. We have backup stuff, so it wasn't, 100% necessary to get it done, but I don't like using the backup stuff if I can help it, because then that's like a second set out that I then have to like fold and put away later. So this way it minimizes the work, because his original set would have still needed washed, and if I used the new set, that means his original set would be something I'd have to fold and put away later, instead of obviously just getting it out and putting it where it needed to be, which is on his bed. Oh, and did I show you this from the right side? I don't think so. The bobble stitches go on the correct side. And now I'm not sure which side I'm supposed to really start on. I think I finished on this side. Okay. What are we doing? I also don't remember what hook size I was using. I'm pretty sure I have it written in at least like the first one of these, but I don't feel like looking, so we're going to use a 6mm hook and hope for the best. If I was obviously making this for an order or like for a gift for somebody, I would care a little more, but this is my first attempt. It's already like a little trucked up, so might as well just go for it. Okay, weathered gray. Okay, this is an easy row. Okay, we're working. Okay, I'm dying. I guess I could tell you what this row is, because, well, I don't know. Maybe we won't. I guess you're going to see it anyway, but one thing to note with these, if you like read the fine print, is if you don't follow their directions like exactly as written, they like basically, not that they won't help you, but they basically are like not liable if you like run out of yarn and whatnot, because you didn't follow it as written. So we're getting started here. My blanket is sliding off, and I just got a text. Okay, I don't know that I was using a 6 before, because these single crochets that I'm like crocheting into are actually looking a little bit tight, but that's fine. YOLO. And it does not necessarily matter if it comes out messed up, because nobody cares if it's got wavy edges when they're covered up with it, you feel me? So I guess I know this series would work better as like a live, but it is hard for me to go live just because I have my kids in the house. And it's not that I like mind sharing them, on the internet. I know some people like absolutely will not do that, but I don't necessarily mind that. The issue I have is I don't necessarily want to like be streaming and have them like need me, and then I have to like either abandon the live or get up during the live, So it's a stressful situation, which is why the couple of times I have done it, I've just been like by myself or with Rebecca, but I like wasn't responsible for my kids at the same time. It was like pre-worked out that the kids were like accounted for some other way, because I don't want them to necessarily be in the video. I don't mind if they come into like the frame here and there, but like this is not necessarily like a family channel, you know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts about it. Is this my first time using this color? No. Okay. It just looked different than that. But yeah, I know this would work better as a live. I'm just not doing it as a live. But we can kind of make this. But yeah, I know this would work better as a live, but we're not doing it that way. But what we can do to make this more like in real time is in the comments down below, if you guys have any questions you would have asked like during a live, or if you want to know like anything about, you know, anything, you can leave them in the comments. And then when I film the next video that'll go up next Sunday, I can respond to those in that video so we can make it like a little more real time. So if you guys have questions about anything, you know, feel free to drop those down below. If you don't have questions, I'd love to know if you guys are working on anything while we're chatting today and what that is. I assume you guys have picked larger projects if you're gonna, you know, do this during the series with me, but like just let me know if you're working on market prep, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be a large project, but if you do have a large project, like now would be the time to do it, I feel like. I don't know how long the full video will end up being, but we'll find out, I guess. Welcome to my subpar content. Do I have anything to say right now? I don't, but I also know that some of you guys don't like it when there's just like music and like sped up video, so I try not to do that so much anymore. But I also don't know what to say. My life is boring. Oh, I guess I can say like one thing. I mean, I guess this isn't a running channel either, so you guys are probably getting tired of hearing me talk about that. But I ran on the treadmill specifically for 40 minutes straight yesterday, and I could have probably gone a little bit longer, but that was like the end of my workout. So like I ended my workout because, well, I like running. Once I finish a workout, I'm pretty much not going to keep going. So yes, yesterday was a tempo run. I ran for 40 minutes straight after my warm-up, which obviously I did not count my warm-up in my 40 minutes straight. So I did my warm-up and then ran for 40 minutes straight. So that was a good accomplishment. Before that, my longest time was 25 minutes. And before that, it was 20 minutes. And before that, it was like 13 minutes. And before that, it was like 8 minutes. And before that, it was 5 minutes. And before that, it was about 30 seconds. Literally. So, and if you guys are unaware, I've only been running since June. And I am a larger body individual. So, if you guys want to start running and you like live in a larger body too, it is possible. I will say, I've had like a lot of practice now because I run more than like the average person because I'm in a lot of running groups and there's definitely better runners, but for whatever reason they seem to only be doing like 2 or 3 days a week. Maybe their schedule, I don't know. They are running further though, so I guess that's something to take note of. But I currently am running 5 days a week. I was running 4 days a week with 2 uphill walk-in sessions a week, so 6 days total of working out still, but 2 were walking days and 4 were running days. Now I'm doing 5 running days, 1 uphill day, and then still 1 full rest day, plus 4 days of strength training too. But yeah, I upped my running so I can get more mileage in because I am training for a 10K, which even when I was like a healthy individual, the furthest I'd ever run would be a 5K. So, and believe you me, that was like 70 pounds ago and 2 babies ago. So the fact that I'm now choosing to run further, even though I weigh more and am definitely less fit by comparison, I'm gonna do it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. My brain shut off like halfway through what I was saying. It just gave up. But yeah, I am going to do it even though I'm less fit. And when I say I'm running a 10K, please understand if you're intimidated by like that concept. I am running and walking a 10K because I doubt by December, it is August, currently it's August 18th, 20th. Okay, I'm a couple days off. It's August 20th, so I doubt by December I'll be able to run a 10K straight through, because if we're American like I am, that's like 6.2 miles. At this point, the furthest in my training that I've run so far is 4.5 miles. So I've not even gotten up to that level of distance yet. Tomorrow is my long run day though, and that is going to be the first time doing 5 miles. So I am going to push it a little further. I don't remember what point I was making. Oh yeah, just that it is okay to walk. There is a 2-hour time limit on this. So, you know, if you're going to walk like the whole thing, depending on how slowly you walk, you might be pushing it on time. And not all races have like a tight time cap like that. Like, you know, if this was on the same day as like a further race, the time would probably be a little more, because the people walking or running, whatever, the 5K also have 2 hours, just because that's like, there's only a 5K and a 10K happening that day. So just whatever race you're signing up for, it'll say if there's a time cap or not on it and what that time cap is. All that to say is you could definitely get out there and walk it, and if that's all you could do, that is like fair. It is technically a race, but I don't think of these as like races, because I know that even though like on a treadmill now I can run like 2 miles without stopping, my running pace for that is like an 18-minute mile. There are people that walk a faster mile than my running pace. In my defense, I'm 5'3" and 220 pounds. 3 months ago, I was like 250 pounds. I'm like short and heavy. I don't move very fast. But at the same time, I'm still going the same distance as somebody who can like do 2 miles in about 20 minutes or even faster than that. So no shame in my game. All that to say, basically, don't let the prospect of running intimidate you, because if I can do it, you can do it. And if you guys remember me talking about it, I had a knee issue real bad at the end of last year that I had physical therapy for at the beginning of this year. So I'm like coming off an injury and everything, and I'm still making like pretty significant progress, if you ask me. And it's going very well. And I'm quite enjoying it. So if you think you'd enjoy it too, like give it a shot. You might not be as bad as you thought. And if you are, like I couldn't even run for a minute straight when I was starting, you might be able to improve pretty quickly. In fact, I had spent the first month of my training every day for a month walking just uphill on my treadmill. I did not run at all in that time, just uphill walking every day for 30 minutes too. So I feel like most people can squeeze like a 30-minute little session into their day. Maybe not everybody, and please don't like feel offended if like you feel like I'm calling you out for like not being able to, because I'm not. But I feel like most people can. And that got me my ability to run my first 5 minutes. By the end of that, even though I had done no running, I had conditioned my body enough to be able to like, you know, run 5 minutes. So from there, because I thought, given where I was like physically before my second baby and I was going to like the gym 5 days a week then, to like the body I'm in now, I thought running for 5 minutes was like real far off, because I was 250 pounds and that's like a lot of weight to move. And back in the day, like I struggled with running then too. And like I said, I was like quite a bit lighter, and that did not stop like the shin splints back then. And like I had my ankle thing then too, so some days like my ankle would feel like extra spicy, just because running can be high impact, especially if you have bad form. And I think I did then, and now I've like done a lot of research. I think my running form is like a lot better now. Yeah, if you had asked me like how far away I was from like running 5 minutes, I would have definitely said more than a month, and I definitely would have thought I would have had to do some running to even get there. And that just did not end up being the case. You feel me? So you might be able to surprise yourself. All that to say. And now we can move on from health and fitness, because this is also not a running channel. Though I also feel like that'd be fun. But at the same time, the fitness channels that are out there are like done by like fitness Instagram models. And yeah, I don't mean that offensively, like putting it in quotes, but that's just like the term, you know, I'm a content creator. That's how I say that. So like, please don't be insulted if you're like an Instagram like fitness model. But yeah, I feel like my running channel, if I had one, would just be like very regular. And I don't know that people like regular that much enough to watch that kind of content from somebody who like looks like me. And it's not even necessarily like a weight thing. It's just like I'm very non-aesthetic, like all the way around the board, even weight aside. But yeah, it does seem like it'd be fun. But it also seems like it'd get like really repetitive because like, okay, Wednesdays are my long run with me today, you know? And then I just, do that every week? Like on camera? Seems like it would get boring to like watch, you know what I'm saying? Then again, I watch the running channel, which is like an actual YouTube channel called the running channel. And I don't find that boring, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I tend to overthink content and then I can't like make content, but like, here we are. Yeah, I'm almost to the end of this row though. Finally. And then I'll probably get off camera and maybe do like another row or two and then come back and do like a final like little So I'll maybe have these videos be like 45 minutes to an hour long, maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure. I want to aim for, I feel like at least 40 because like, well, that's a long video and will take a long time to edit because it's a long video. Considering this is like a big project, it wouldn't necessarily make sense, I feel like, to have only like a 15-minute video. You know what I mean? And there'll definitely be other videos up during the week. I just don't know what those are. Oh, and my camera's gonna die, so this is good timing, I guess. Panic crocheting. Ooh, I wonder if this is counting my steps too. Okay, so it is the next day. I basically should have had this strip done, and I'll show ya. This strip that I'm working on here done, like the whole thing, because I've done it enough times at this point that it should have amassed to like the actual like stripe it's supposed to be on the blanket. However, it did not work out that way. So yeah, basically what I'm supposed to be doing is on the side with the bobble stitches, you could see I'm supposed to be doing a like ribbed texture. You can kind of see that there. Maybe not. You see it a little bit better there. But because I like got started and didn't consult the videos, which as far as I'm aware are just like supplemental if you need help, I started on the wrong side, which means my ribbing was on like the back of the blanket. So instead of being on like the same side as the bobble stitches, it was on the back side. So I noticed that and had to frog back. And then I did not want to like undo everything, so I kept that base of double crochets that I did across, and on one side you're supposed to work front post double crochets, on the other side you're supposed to work back post double crochets, and that creates your ribbing. I basically flipped it, so I started with the opposite one, so my ribbing would be on the front without me having to also frog back my like foundation row for this stripe. So yeah, and it was just, I kept working into like the wrong spot and like doubling up, because when you go behind a post, you know, the next thing I work into, you can't really see that, but there's two V's, so like one of these V's goes to the post, but then that V is still there when you've worked behind the post. So like I started this row like 3 different times and kept working into like the post, the stitch, the top of the stitch and behind the stitch. And I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to work behind the stitch and then into the next stitch. And so like it was getting all wonky and it took me a long time to figure it out. like this much of the blanket. And then I'm like, wow, that's just getting wider and wider and wider. What's happening? I just don't know what I'm doing, but it's fine. I figured it out. We're good. I'm on my like second row now, so doing the opposite of what I just did, and it's going pretty smooth. So this would be row 3. This whole stripe goes up to row 7. So I do want to try to get that done and have that be the part that like ends this video. So yeah, but I think I'm going to do it off camera just for sake of efficiency, because the boys are still asleep. They should be asleep for another like 45 minutes. So I don't know if I'll get like all the rows done in 45 minutes, but I can put a decent dent, I think, in. But yeah, I normally don't have this morning time to myself. Well, I do, I guess, but I normally don't have this morning time to myself for work, because I tend to come back and do my strength training in the morning, and then I tend to run in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll do it while Judah naps, but my treadmill is like an antique, so it's really loud, and it's got like a wooden deck, so it's just like creaking as I'm running. And like I don't run outside by myself because like I watch way too much true crime. I normally am doing something else now, but today is a long run day, what? So I'll be running 5 miles later. So I don't program strength training on my like long run days because I think my long run is like long enough and without having to like move heavy stuff before or after. So instead of strength training right now, I will be doing this. And it is hard for me to like talk and do this, which is why I've already stopped doing this. So I'm going to do this and then I will come back and show you, hopefully, what looks really nice. I feel like a little better because that is giving ribbed texture there. So I think it's going okay. But yeah, I will be back. Okay, so I finished row 3. I am in row 4 of 7 for this. It's coming out pretty good. But now my baby is up, so, and sorry, you can probably hear the TV in the background, the phone on the TV. But yeah, now my baby's up, so I'm gonna pause for now. I do hope to end this video by like showing you guys the final stripe, but if I don't, it'll look like this, but you know, a little taller. But I do like how the stripe came out. And then I'll show you, I guess, all the stripes I'm making for this pack. So, yep. Okay, I'm going to get the boy. Okay, I've been at it for about 3 hours, on and off, obviously, because children's, I think last we chatted, Judah was awake, but Jagger hadn't gotten up yet. He got up about 8:30. It's now almost 10:30, and I have finished that row. This is how it came out. It's pretty good, I think. So, that is going to complete this week's episode of working on this blanket. And I guess maybe we'll make each episode a stripe on the blanket. I don't know. I'm still not sure yet, and I can't even guarantee that I'll always be working on this particular blanket. I did want to start with this blanket because this is the blanket I started first. If you guys weren't aware, I've talked about it here and there before, but I don't talk about it a ton. I've actually got 3 different kind of 4-ish blankets that I'm working on. I'm making this one from an Annie's crochet kit. I'm making one in Red Heart. What is it called? Oh, Red Heart Retro Stripes, I do believe, with just a pattern from Etsy that I liked. Similar style, like it's got like sampler vibes, except the couple of different rows repeat. Like there's a handful of rows, and then you repeat those handful of rows either like 4 or 5 times or whatever, and then that is what makes the blanket. So it's a similar vibe, but not quite exactly the same, because this one is like obviously a different row all the way to the end of the blanket. Yeah. So that is number 2. Number 3 is, what is number 3? Oh, another Red Heart blanket. Mostly it is going to be checkered patterned basically, but it is the all-in-one granny square or whatever it was called yarn by Red Heart. So I'm doing like all-in-one granny square, a solid colored granny square, an all-in-one granny square, a solid colored granny square, and that's going to make the whole blanket. Just because that yarn does work, but you have to like work it to make it work. So it can take me like 30 minutes to make a granny square in that yarn, but if I do like the solids in between, those take like 10 to 15 minutes. So I like literally cut my time in half. So yeah. Okay, I'll put it on. Those are the blankets I'm working on. And then there's one other one. I'm not super far into it. I might turn that into a bag. I haven't decided, but it's flower granny squares. So I'm like the least far on that one. But yeah, these are my blanket. So I can't guarantee I'll always be working on this one, but for this week I am working on this one, and I have finished it, and it looks good if I do say so myself. Look at it again. Nice, right? Solid. Nice, that's right. But I gotta get out of here because I got one over here, one over there, and they need me. Can't have that back. He stole an octo. Give me my octo. Oh, I know, that's so cute. Oh, Jagger, can you get that octo? He stole it. It's on the floor. It's blue. You see the blue? Good boy. Thank you. Do you need Mama's help still? Okay. Okay, I'm going. Goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Oh, wait. If you like more crochet content, it's somewhere. And goodbye. I think I decided it's this one because last time I said this one, and I think it's this one. And I do that every time. I don't remember. But I just edited a video yesterday, so I think it is this one. This time for real. So it'll be like here-ish. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.